Officers of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force and Department of Corrections will now be able to serve a bit longer due to amendments to the Correctional Services Act. A compendium of bills for both law enforcement agencies tabled in Parliament today by the National Security Minister, the Honourable Marvin Dames. Jimenita Swain has details.
National Security Minister the Honourable Marvin Dames outlining what he classified as small amendments to the Correctional Services Act that will bring parity among officers of the Bahamas Department of Corrections and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. The primary change, a change in retirement age for correctional officers being extended from 50 to 55 years.
To date, this would reflect some 3% of the department's career officers who are between the ages of 50 and 54. Concurrently, accordingly, Mr. Speaker, this means that a subordinate correctional officer, after having served 30 years, may be allowed to continue to provide service from year to year for a period not exceeding 5 years, as opposed to the previous 10 years.
The National Security Minister said the word 50 would be deleted and replaced with 55, which is dependent on the individual's physical ability to re-engage and the Commissioner's recommendation.
Mr. Speaker, the increase in retirement age for correctional officers now brings the much-needed parity among law enforcement agencies in the country. This now makes pensions equitable, ensures stability and sustainability of law enforcement personnel over a long term.
But that's not the only benefit.
The agency will not risk losing 22% of its officers between the ages of 40 and 50 years in the next few years due to previous legal mandatory retirement age. Today's small amendments to the Principal Act is a pivotal step to assist in reducing the level of institutional knowledge that may have been lost with the departure of skilled employees whom are still capable of making meaningful contribution to the service to the institution and their country as a whole.
As for the compulsory retirement age of those above the rank of sergeant, Minister Dames provided this amendment.
It will read as follows. Every officer in the Department of Correctional Services other than an officer referred to in subparagraph 2 and 3 of paragraph 1 of the third schedule shall, upon attaining 60 years of age or rendering 40 years of service, whichever is soonest, retire. Again, this simple amendment brings the much-needed parity for correctional officers with their counterparts in the Royal Bahamas Police and Defense Force.
Should any officers retire within 6 months of the Act coming into force, he or she has the option to write to the Commissioner no less than 6 months prior to the date of retirement. As for those in the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the enlistment age moves from 25 to 30, which Minister Dames sees as increasing its human capital by attracting more qualified individuals. For those Marines who died without leaving a will, the word representative will bring this change.
Would have required his estate to approach the Supreme Court in order to administrate on the estate if his or her loved ones desired benefits from his or her gratuities and or vacation entitlements. This amendment will put an end to the former and allow whom was nominated by that ward officer or that Marine to benefit directly.
Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.